called a target, and that's simply where they touch their nose and their mouth and trainers' closed hands. And once they do that, we give them something they like. Now that could be a pat, a scratch, favorite toy. In this case, it's going to be some delicious fish. And once they understand targeting, we can use that to train lots of different behaviors. So if I wanted to train something like a fish, I could start out with that target. They already know good things happen when they do that, and you start to walk in a circle. Field's going to want to come with you, and eventually you can add in signals and get a brand new behavior. Same thing with a lie down. You start out with that target, bring it slowly down to the ground, and eventually add a new signal, and again, you've got a brand new behavior. So with that one simple behavior, we're able to shape and train lots of different behaviors. So you can see Roxy doing a nice lie down. From that position, we're actually able to get a really great view of the seal's entire body. We do train a series of behaviors that allow the seals to participate in their own health care. We're lucky enough here to have a fantastic vet shop that gives our seals a checkup about once a month. They even have their own ophthalmologist and their own dentist that sees them once a year. So we actually train a lot of more behaviors to allow them to participate in their own checkups, from lie-downs to lifting their zipper to opening their mouth. We can even train something as complex as allowing us to take a voluntary blood sample or even have an ultrasound taken. So these, again, are all things that we work on. Now, as each field finishes up cancer targeting, you'll notice that the trainers will knock on their bucket or raise their hands in front of their bucket. This is just communicating that there's no more fish in that individual's feet right now. And you can see right now, we're actually working on toothbrushing. Again, this is another one of the behaviors that allow our computers and health care. We do use toothpaste. It's actually malt flavored. A lot of people will decide to use fish flavored. Feels more interesting fish flavored. I made one, but in the black. Now here at the aquarium, we do feed our seals a variety of different fish. We eat a small one called peelin, a large one called herring, and then of course some delicious squid. And we kind of tailor each seal's diet to their needs and their personal preferences. Now, once we are done with our first little portion of the training session, we are going to be bringing out two other members of the marine animal family here at the aquarium. We're bringing out our two California station. I'm going to stand by myself and tell you a little bit about what we are trying to those guys know. Yeah, so it's 5 3 Now, you might notice there's a variety of objects here included. Objects are toys. They're things that we offer them throughout the day, and then use them and kind of play. It has a big fancy name, it's called enrichment, but essentially it's just playing with seals, and that can vary from anything from kind of the steel version of the pinata to a steel popsicle to a simple dog or horseshoe toys. Again, we offer them a variety of different things. Each of our seals, if you look at the front of their faces, you'll notice that they do have these really incredible whiskers on the front of their face, and those whiskers are called cybersags. And what they do is they pick up vibration. So if it's coming along, it's going to make a little wave, just like a boat on the surface. And those cybersags, whiskers, would actually pick that up and allow the seals to find and track that individual fish. Now, you guys are lucky enough today to actually speak to Toby on exhibit. She is now one of the sunshine fish. So she's kind of like in grade school. A lot of the other kids out here are much more into their training, but she's still learning kind of the basics of being out there and being around other kids who are going through their training sessions. So here's some of our two California felines. They're kind of patterned, but they work to come down this way and shoot all the way over to their trainer. Now we have Sierra and Zoe. Sierra's the closest one to the feeding area. Kind of stay up with the nice house. And Zoe is the one that's kind of closest to me. These guys are also really agile and really moving up on land. This is pretty strong from the down. Now you might notice my coworker Patty is carrying along pulling a little buoy on the end. That's called a target pole, and essentially what that does is it works as an extension of our hand. So if we're training something and we want to use the target to train it, but we want to train it in the water, my hand doesn't reach that far out to the water. But if I add that target pole, I can reach a whole lot further out. Now, one of the things we work on with all of our animals is we make sure that they're comfortable going through all the different hallways we have behind the scenes. So that's what Jessica is actually going to be working on. We're going to go down one of our hallways and then into a holding school area. So we actually have baby gates set up all around the place behind the scenes. We really want our animals to be comfortable wherever they are. Now that big toy that you see in the corner that our fields have been going on is called it's super scale, so it's something we do. You can see Zoe showing off her porpoises. Beautiful job, Zoe. And this is something we try to do on a weekly basis so we can get a really good weight and we can really track how you guys are gaining and moving your weight. And it's really important to build a really strong relationship with our animals. We all work one-on-one or one-on-two on all different fields, and this allows us to build a really great relationship with them.
Miss Hart, cuddle up with something.
You can probably hear the coworker Patty, so we're good. You also see that we have whistles around our neck. This is simply a way to communicate to the animals when we're doing exactly what we're looking for. It's kind of like a marker signal. So the setup that my coworker Jamie is kind of getting her to into is one of the rules that would allow us to take a nice voluntary leg extension. If we're going to something strange, she's trained to roll into that position and allow some tackles on our clipper. Now, once we are completely done with our training session, I'm going to be making my way out. Making my way out to the audience viewing area. On behalf of all the animals here, including Zoe and Sierra, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here. I hope you learned a little bit more about these beautiful and amazing animals, and I hope you had a lot of fun seeing it. And again, I hope you have a great rest of your day here at the England Aquarium. Bye, guys.